Here's the result for the guy you filled out the survey for. He gets a C+. plus. This guy is rather so-so. Not too good, not too bad. Welcome to the Strong Brew, where you get answers to questions you're not supposed to ask. These are some things you may want to know about the man in your life. If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure? Will he try and use money to control you? Will he share housework or just make you do it all? In fights, when he gets angry, does he get aggressive? During intimacy, does he understand that no means no? Is he jealous, suspicious, or possessive? Will his attitude towards you change after having kids? Will he treat your parents with respect? What if you have conflicts with his parents? We tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. These are things nobody else will tell you. Things that are important for your future. This is a safe space for truth. No judgment, no platitudes, no login, no payment either. Our questions are from real life, but our answers come from science. Now, I built this thing, me and my husband, and honestly, we built it and we live it. We are both Stanford grads, we both have worked at Google, and we've been happily together since 1998. Along the way, we've added a son, now 13, and 4 dogs. We are genuine folks. If you're a woman trying to understand any man in your life, here is how it works. Go to www.thestrongbrew.life. Click on the Understand a Guy button there. Answer 10 questions about him. Watch a video tailored to your guy. That's all there is to it. It is completely anonymous, no login, no payment, no games, no manipulation. This analysis is obtained by combining solid trait psychology with cutting edge AI ML. We represent each person's personality with what is known as a feature vector. This has 10 elements, so our data is effectively 10-dimensional data. In case you're wondering how we can infer so much from just 10 questions, well, 10-dimensional data is very complex. There is a lot you can learn from that level of detail.
Okay, I think that does it for the preamble. Now let's plunge in. Let's start with this guy in his career. Will he go far or just talk big?
He's the kind of person who works quietly and puts in real effort on his own rather than just talking big. He prefers to focus on his tasks and usually keeps his promises at work. However, he might struggle to stand out or get ahead because he doesn't like to push himself forward or grab attention.
Can he bounce back from failure?
When things go wrong at work, he won't usually shout panic or cause a scene. Instead, he's more likely to quietly withdraw and keep his feelings to himself. He doesn't break down in a dramatic way, but he also won't fight to fix things or stand up for himself.
What do people at work think of him? Do they like him?
People at work probably see him as quiet and serious, not someone who stirs up fights or drama. He's not very warm or friendly, and you might hear that he keeps to himself most of the time. Mostly, people will respect his hard work but may not feel close to him or look to him for support.
If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure?
If you do really well in your career, he's not likely to feel jealous or pick fights, but he may not show open pride or excitement either. He keeps his feelings inside, so you might not get much praise or celebration from him, even if he quietly respects your hard work. He won't make it a competition or act threatened, but don't expect lots of hugs or happy words from him.
What if you start earning more than him?
He is unlikely to secretly resent you or become insecure if you earn more than him. Money and status aren't things he uses to measure his own worth, and he's rarely the jealous type. In short, he won't get in your way, but he also won't shower you with praise for your success.
Next, let's talk about how he is with money. Does he overspend? Is he reckless with money?
He's usually quite careful and thoughtful with money, planning things out and avoiding wasteful spending. You'll notice he likes things to be in order, so he's more likely to save, budget, and avoid risky purchases. He hardly ever makes impulsive decisions or buys things just to show off.
Does he show off and pretend to be richer than he is?
He lives well within his means and doesn't put on a show for others. You won't see him buying flashy things or pretending to be someone he's not just to impress people. He prefers being practical and making sure his life is stable and organized.
Is he too generous, too stingy, or just right?
He tends to be quite reserved with both money and his feelings. You might notice that he isn't the type to give generous gifts, lend easily, or go out of his way to help others, even if he has enough to share. Warm hugs and words of kindness aren't his natural style either.
Will he use money to try and control you?
He isn't someone who will control you or use money to get his way, but he's also not very open in talking about it. He tends to keep things to himself, including his thoughts about finances, so you might find it hard to know where he stands unless you ask directly. He's not likely to lie or hide big secrets, but sharing details and having open money talks just isn't natural for him.
Let's see how this guy is with sharing housework. Will he share housework or just make you do it?
He believes in keeping things neat and organized, but he's unlikely to say that housework is only your job. He'll quietly take care of his own things and expects everyone in the house to do their part without big arguments or power struggles. If something feels unfair, he's more likely to keep quiet than start a fight.
Will he help you or just boss you around and tell you what to do?
He is more likely to quietly do his own share of chores rather than just sit back and tell you what to do. He won't make a big deal about helping, nor will he expect much praise for pitching in. When it comes to things like diapers or household tasks, he'll do them if needed, but probably with little fuss or conversation.
Now let's see about how this guy is during fights. In fights, does he try to understand your views or just win the fight?
He won't waste energy arguing just to prove a point, and he doesn't enjoy fights. Instead, when you share your side, he usually listens quietly, but you might not get much reaction or conversation from him. He'd rather avoid drama than get into a back and forth, and if things get too heated, he might pull away completely.
Does he become aggressive when angry?
When he's angry, he tends to keep his feelings inside and stays quiet rather than lashing out or saying hurtful things. He's not the type to shout, insult, or act aggressively. He won't try to hurt you with words or actions, but you may feel shut out if he gets upset.
Does he have a bad temper?
He is not someone who gets angry quickly. In fact, he tends to keep his emotions in check and rarely shows open irritation. Even when upset, he doesn't explode or lose control. He just quietly pulls back or leaves the room. However, silence and emotional distance can also be hard to live with, as you may feel alone at times.
Will he say sorry and accept his mistakes?
He usually won't blame you or try to shift the fault when something goes wrong, but he also finds it hard to openly say sorry or have long talks about mistakes. Instead, he might quietly fix what happened or just try to move on without many words.
Next, let's talk about intimacy and physical chemistry. During intimacy, does he respect your boundaries? Does he get that no means no?
Yes, he will respect your boundaries and you won't have to worry about him ignoring your wishes or pushing you after you say no. He isn't aggressive or forceful, and he tends to pull back if he senses you're uncomfortable or not interested. If you clearly state your limits, he will quietly honor them without drama or argument.
If you are not in the mood for intimacy, will he react badly?
He usually won't take it personally if you're not in the mood for intimacy. Instead of getting upset, sulking, or holding a grudge, he'll more likely accept it quietly and give you space. You won't find him nagging or making you feel guilty. He'll just move on with his day.
Can you trust him not to shame you or share your private moments, maybe love letters, photos, or videos, even after a breakup or a bad fight?
Yes, you can trust him to handle private moments with care. He's not the type to use your secrets or intimate experiences against you, nor will he bring them up to embarrass or hurt you later. You don't have to worry about gossip, mockery, or feeling exposed with him. Your trust is safe.
Is he loyal or is he likely to want to have affairs?
He is more likely to be faithful and loyal rather than easily distracted by other women. He doesn't seek excitement or attention outside the relationship and prefers to keep his focus on what he already has. His quiet, reserved way means he's not someone who goes looking for new connections or flirts for fun.
Will he be jealous, suspicious, and try to control you?
No, he isn't over possessive or the type to act jealous, controlling, or always suspicious. He doesn't try to manage where you go, who you meet, or what you do. You won't find him questioning your every move or making you feel trapped.
This guy says he is protective in a good way. Is he actually just being possessive?
No, his protective nature is not a cover for a controlling personality. In fact, he's more likely to step back and let you handle things your own way rather than interfere or direct your actions. He doesn't show much of that hovering or possessiveness that some men mistake for care.
Now, onto the topic of kids and how this guy will be as a father. If you guys have kids, will he make you do most of the work?
He will likely see parenting as a set of shared responsibilities, handling his own tasks quietly without expecting you to do everything. He won't loudly demand equal teamwork or make a show of helping out, but you'll probably notice him doing what needs to be done in his own way. If something gets missed or needs attention, he'll handle it alone rather than ask or argue.
Kids are very messy. Will he lose his temper with them?
When the kids mess up or get upset, he will usually stay calm and quiet. He's not the kind of father who yells, scolds loudly, or loses his temper over mistakes. Instead, he handles things by pulling back or giving everyone space to cool down.
If you guys have kids, will he still support your career?
He will quietly respect your role as both a mother and your own person. He isn't the type to demand that you put aside your dreams or identity for the family, nor will he load all responsibilities onto you. His support is steady in the background, practical and non intrusive, even if not very expressive or involved.
Will this man say one thing early on, maybe while dating, and then later, after kids and marriage, change his tune and try to make you give up your career?
No, he is not the type to support your career now and then pressure you to quit later. He values order and isn't interested in controlling your choices or trapping you with changing rules. He won't play games with your trust or suddenly change what he expects of you.
Next, let's see how this guy treats your parents. Will he be respectful with your parents?
He will most likely act polite on the surface with your parents, but real warmth won't come easily to him. He'll follow social rules and treat them respectfully, but don't expect him to join in deeply with family jokes, emotional talks, or affectionate gestures. He's not rude or disrespectful, simply reserved and distant. He is more likely to quietly adjust to your family's ways rather than expect them to change for him.
What if your family creates stress or interferes a bit in your lives?
If your family creates stress or interferes, he will handle it calmly and quietly, not by making a scene or adding to the drama. He is unlikely to shout, argue, or openly criticize anyone, no matter how tense things get. If things become too stressful, he might withdraw even more, letting you handle the emotional side of things.
Then let's analyze the role this guy's family will play in your life. Is this man modern with you, but a completely different person when other people, say his parents or bosses, are around?
He's not the type who will openly demand that you become a traditional supportive wife just to please his relatives. He values order and routine, but he isn't much for double standards or playing social games. Most of the time, he will avoid making any fuss, letting you handle yourself as you see fit.
If there is tension between you and his parents, will he support you?
If there's tension, he is most likely to stay out of it rather than take sides, whether with you or with them. He doesn't like conflict and will avoid getting pulled into family drama. Instead, he'll stay quiet and hope things settle on their own.
Say you have a conflict with his mother, what will this guy do?
He's not the type to be a classic mummy's boy. He rarely gets involved in open conflicts or strongly chooses sides, even between you and his mother. If a problem comes up, he'll usually keep quiet, avoid taking part, and let things pass instead of defending one person over another. If choosing sides is important to you, remember that he will likely choose to stay neutral, hoping the tension settles itself.
Will he share all the private details of your relationship with his mother or sister?
He is unlikely to share every detail of your fights or a private life with his mother or sister. He values his privacy and prefers to keep personal matters quiet, even from close family members. If he does ever mention something, it will be only the basics and not the emotional details.
Now let's zoom out and put it all together.
Based on all of this analysis, this guy gets a C plus. This guy is so so, not too good, not too bad, a bit mediocre. Being in a relationship with him means life is steady, quiet, and organized. But it can also feel a bit lonely at times. You'll never have to worry about drama, outbursts, or controlling behavior. He gives you space and respects your choices.